Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is BMT coming up here again. Can y'all hear me? Just let me know if y'all can hear me. Um, I wanted to do this conversation with you guys on something, and it literally is what it is. Um, I wanted to ask the men. I wanted to ask the men. Um, I've been in this space for 5 years. I've been in this space for 5 years or some change, and I've heard all sorts of various things going on. And um, um, but I had to ask the question um, to the men. I got to ask the question to the men. Uh, and I speak earnestly from the heart. I get that question a lot. Um, like a lot of the men feel like, or some of the men feel like I'm beating up on them. I'm tearing them down. I'm always attacking. I'm more for women, not for men. But I had to ask the question. Um, why not have the conversation? Why not have a genuine conversation and see what it's all about? Hence why I asked the question um, to a lot of the men about, do they feel that that have they turned their back on their society or on their community, or has their community turned their back on them? I was I'm serious about that because some men have turned their back on their community, on their society, and they mean no good. They don't. The same ones that you'd ask for protection or ask for accountability are the ones that would rather feel the warmth of the flame from burning it down. What's going on, everybody? Peace to T Black, peace to Trailer, peace to Koja, peace to Brandy. So you have to ask the question, do men want balance? You can't necessarily have power but not understand that there has to be a balance. And when I try to have this conversation with men or try to have these type of dialogue, feelings come out. Issues like, why are you talking like this? Why are you speaking to men like this? Like, why are you talking down on us? Why are you treating us like children? You know what I'm saying? I can't lie to you. Sometimes when I have these conversations, it hurts me. I'm being for real. Like, sometimes when I have these conversations, it does hurt me. But I'm a man and I have to take some licks. Just like when I have the conversation about women, they don't like everything I say. You think, listen, I mean, you think women like admitting that, men hold the power and a lot of things? Women don't like admitting that, but they know, at the end of the day, that's the strength, that's the real world. But they understand that, if I don't do something, I could lose my life at any second. That is the real reality that women know. Walking a parking lot, just walking a parking lot with nobody around at a certain hour of the day could be life or death for them. That's the reality. That's a balance that they understand that, I have to be on my toes. While the same thing for men, you also have to have a balance of understanding the weight of the world. Like you can't talk about, yo, I'm all for making babies, I'm all for X, Y, and Z about children and family community. But then all of a sudden, the minute we start talking about family court, oh my God, the women are evil. Whoa, 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 whoa. You can't have it both ways, baby. Accountability. You can't talk about the woes and the rights of racism and how the white man keep you down, but then next thing you know, you talk about how glory be to God. I love the white woman's pussy. What? Where they do that at? How you? It's like you want to have the serious conversations, but you don't want to be taken seriously. You want to talk about accountability, and accountability comes with balance. That means holding yourself and those around you to a certain set standard. And granted, I get it. Listen, man, I'm not. I could probably say that it's harder to walk that fine line of having a balance. It is so much harder because that means I have to take my feelings out of it and actually just look at it for what it is. But what I'm seeing going on here on YouTube is a lot of my fellow brethren rather be a, this is why they rather OD on pills. Same thing like some women who are delusional about their self grandeur of so long as I have the right body, I'll be able to snag a man. So long as I say certain talking points, or if I act a certain type of way, then guess what? I'll be able to have certain type of access. These are certain grandeurs that women live by. Versus a man, he believes by certain ideologies that, hey, if I play by these certain rules of the world, guess what? I will be accepted. It's not so, man. So when I so I understand why a lot of black men said BMT, you sold out. Did I sell out or did I start telling you the truth? Did I start being honest? Did I start keeping an accountability? You can't talk about fuck these women, right? You say fuck these women, they don't need no type of doggone support from the system. But then after that, when we start talking about the family court in the system, how you doing, dear? I'm doing all right. I'm good. I'm good. I have a question. I have a question. Now, I do a radio talk show about stuff, and I've talked to plenty of women, and oh, thank you. There's a mindset that a lot of men think that women make a lot of money from the system, the government, and welfare, food stamp, all that stuff. Is that true? No. No, you are fine. You are fine. I can eat that. I can understand. Like, listen, if I'm doing my half and I got my stuff together, then there ain't no need for you to have to go on that. Thank you so much, man. I just need to know. I needed that mentality when I talk to my people about these things. But thank you so much, Joe. Thank you, Miss Talicia. So, okay. So, y'all heard it right there from Miss Talicia. Y'all heard it right there. That was from a woman. A woman said, listen, I don't want to put no man on no child support. She didn't say, oh, yeah, men need to be on child support. But she kept it real. She said out her own mouth, if a man, if a man would do what he's supposed to do, guess what? She wouldn't have to. She said it's about survival. It's about survival of the child. But see, when we want to have these kind of balanced conversations, this is the thing I never understood this about the survival. It's called survival of the fittest. It's called survival of the fittest. You do what you're supposed to do as a man, That woman don't need no. Listen, why that woman want to break off from a system if she got it good? If I give my woman health care, if I make sure that her and the kids are good with a nice little car, you know what I'm saying? They can get from point A to point B and X, Y, and Z. And listen, y'all, I bit that bullet. But everybody see nobody, but see, it's fun pumping and pushing in a baby, but motherfuckers don't want to actually lay down and say, yo, I made this. I need to own up to that. That's what I find so goofy about these conversations, bro. Same thing I have with the women. I have the same conversation about the women. They know when another sister's acting up and acting goofy and doing wrong. They understand that. That's real. They dog. Listen, you want to know how her other women, they hit them when they talk about, yo, look how you raising your kid. You ain't shit. Women attack women all the time about their parenting raising skills. I watch them all the time on Facebook, IG, Twitter, all that stuff. That's the quickest way to really piss off a woman. But see, men, you can't have it both ways. You can't say that you want to be an alpha, which let's be honest, a lot of y'all ain't living no alpha lifestyle. I gotta be honest with y'all. A lot of y'all ain't no damn alphas, man. And hell, I don't even think y'all even know what alpha is. And alpha is not even a real thing. It's not. It's just not. And then honestly, in a dominant society, y'all ain't no fucking alphas. I know a lot of y'all don't like to hear that. I know a lot of y'all like to look in the mirror and tell yourselves that shit, or probably when y'all fucking a woman, or maybe when y'all getting y'all paycheck, y'all say, I'm an alpha. But I just gotta be honest, you're not no fucking alpha. Because honestly, anybody or anything could literally tell you sit your ass down and go inside your house, and you going to comply. With the world, the U.S. done prove that. The world done prove that. But only in your fictitious mind on the internet, you believe you're something more than what you are, and that's not true. I'm not trying to listen, man. I'm just being honest about this, man. You can try to tell yourself that. But honestly, if you're gonna tell me that you are that of the owner or the creator, show me the system that you made. You would have to show me the system that you made that literally you are the dominant power. That that you do not depend on no other power but your own power. A lot of people don't like hearing that. Like I'm just being honest, man. Like it's a doggy dog world right now. And honestly, at this point right now, a lot of men do not like facing that fact of hard work. It is hard work being a balanced man. I get it. Listen, bro. I listen. I had my angst and naysays against about the black community. I did. I had my angst and naysays about the society that we live in. But you know, one of the things I had to understand that yo, I'm here too. What's going on, Javon? At 33 years old, I've been through mad social settings with black people, and usually I get left out of certain stuff, backstab over silly stuff, unless it's family. And you know what, Todd? I'm sorry that does happen. I've been through that also. Like I said, it does happen, man. It does happen. It does happen a lot. But we got but understand these a lot of people they feel safe on social media. They feel untouchable. They feel like, yo, on here, I'm a king. I'm an OG. I'm a god. How you a god on us? You don't even own your own server. How you a king and you can't say whatever you want to say on here. You can't do whatever you want to do. So you're not really a king. No, and I can respect that, Todd. But you know, when I always tell people, I always ask the men that come on here. They like talking about thought culture, but then why do y'all like to rate? So here's the thing about it. You can't say that you hate thought culture, but you like to rate women. Let that how, let that make sense. You hate thought culture. You like bringing up Cardi B. You like bringing up whoremongering behavior, and you like talking about how women need to be less superficial. But you like to rate women. Isn't that subjective? Isn't that mean you want them to meet a certain criteria, or you want them to fit a certain narrative? No, it's true, Auntie. That's like saying you're a king with no kingdom. Take me to your land. Take me to your kingdom where you can make your rules separate from us. Show me where you have your dynasty and your 40 women and all this stuff. Like you gonna have to show me that. But until you do that, you got no say so out here. Everybody wants to talk about we need to have structure, family, balance, all that ABC stuff. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, nobody likes to have that. Nobody wants when it comes to having those balanced conversations, and y'all can't think I don't be doing the balanced conversations. You don't think I don't be feeling uncomfortable when I be having conversations outside of my realm, talking about sexuality, the household, politics, money and stuff. I gotta hold my own self accountable. I have to look deep down in myself and say, yo, am I there? Do I have it going on like that? And I'm gonna tell you right now, culture will tell you. Majority of the time, I throw my own stuff under the bus. But what I like to see, but what it seems like I see a lot of people like to come into the church and be squeaky clean and get to say hallelujah. But then they say, I have no sins. Everyone has wronged me and treat me like a sinner. Everyone betrayed me. So you were that good old angel all this time and you never got dirty. But you want to participate in the goddamn and at the altar crying out to whatever God you believe in about how they wronged you, how they made you suffer. What's going on, Colton?
Nothing. I was just listening to you, and it was a picture was surfing around the internet, and it was of a slave owner, and he had his foot sitting on the little slave boy like he was a stool,
Yes.
and it was meant to show arrogance and basically, and sometimes I feel like when I hear some of these groups that some of these men want black women to be their footstool and you have no say so, you have no contributions, and you to be disrespected. I don't think women have a problem with reciprocal relationships, but it don't seem like sometimes from these talking points that they are reciprocal relationships. They seem like that of either parent child, in which the woman is seen as less or should be viewed as less. And my mama told me something growing up: if a dog tell you something and it's right, you better listen. And I think that a lot of some of the stuff that I hear communicates that women have no right to say anything outside of cooking or cleaning, and has no right to voice an opinion that is to even have an opinion that wasn't given to her. And that's some of the stuff that I feel like I hear. Not my feelings ain't facts. That's just what it seems like. And it's like you have no contribution to anything of value other than cooking, screwing, and cleaning. And if you screw before you marry, even though you screwing, you're somehow unworthy. And they want all of this other stuff, but they don't want to do their part. Oh, you're supposed to cook, you're supposed to clean, you're supposed to do this, but the other part of that is not being provided. And you're like, well, you don't even mow the yard. You pay somebody to mow the yard, but you want me to cook and clean. How about we pay for a maid if you're gonna pay somebody to mow the yard? It's like
Right.
you're supposed to be spending your whole day being this basically slave that has sex with this person, and you should be grateful to be that. That's how it comes across to me. And I could be wrong, but that's how some of it comes across.
Well, no, you see, like I said, it's a balance and a lot of stuff, and there's always going to be give and takes in a relationship. There's always going to be a give and take. Um, that's just how relationships run. You know what I'm saying? I want access to a woman, and I want access to a family. So for me, I better expect to work the sweat of my brow. You know what I'm saying? Versus
Yeah.
you have some women, they so desperate for a man, they'll take any old type of man and put him in the house. And that man might be a man child. And in dealing with that man child, she complained, oh, like you don't do this, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I need this and that. But yet you entertaining that man and you giving access between your legs to that man and popping out his babies. But then you complaining that this man ain't shit. Well, goddamn, kick the flush the goddamn shit out the goddamn house and do better. You see, they choose you sometimes you choosing to entertain that kind of stuff.
I just can't hardly take it. I can't hardly see no man as a man when they around here talking about they want to eat fish with no bones. That just take all the man. That might be some country off the wall stuff, but it just shows how these men want all of this stuff and talking about femininity and all of that stuff. But you want fish with no bones. I mean, it's just they want all of this here. But to be honest, they say how masculine women are, but some of the stuff how they be sounding and some of these talking points sound very emasculated to me from them, even though they're insistent, because I don't think men do all of that arguing and all of I don't want to stereotype nobody, but some of the stuff they say don't really sound real masculine in my opinion.
Okay, all
And
right.
they just saying, well, like I say they want fish with no bones. It's like, women, we don't care. We work with you. Go clean the fish. I'll cook the fish. But they don't want to clean the fish and get their nails dirty. And they the men. That's kind of how it comes across, if that make any sense how I said it. I want you to
Okay.
cook. I, but I don't want to clean the fish. I want to call you unfeminine, but I don't want to get my nails dirty and clean this fish because it stinks and I'm a man. And you the woman, you should do it all. You should clean the fish, you should cook the fish and everything. Cause I'm the man and I said so, and I ain't got to say nothing else.
Uh-huh. We're joined here by Lightbearer. What's going on, Lightbearer? Good to
Hi,
see you. It's been a while. You know what
hi,
I'm saying? We're joined here.
Sister and
Yeah,
Auntie. How are y'all doing?
we're doing all right. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're
Yeah,
joined here on a topic.
I agree
Mm-hmm.
with the sister. Yeah, our men have it's been intentional, the demasculating um our men and masculating the women. That's, I mean, if these men can't see, they sleeping. They sleeping. They can't see what white supremacy has done to the black community. And the tricks, the matrix is what I call it. It's full of so much illusion that, I see it, and I just don't know how to express it to our people so that they can see clearly and reverse, or or play defense and start preventing this. But when we got people like Tamika Mallory talking about sexism is worse than racism, and she was supposed to have been a voice out here, at least we thought, but she's part of the demasculating our men out here. It's a part of pushing that, and a part of pushing horrific agendas against the black community with that got to do with sexuality. um it just gets all of course these men are going to be hurting, and these, and a lot of women are too, because and we're like the in between, in the middle of all this, and we're trying, and we don't see that there's a change that's been
I,
pushed to
I,
affect us and change us.
I don't give them no pass because they hurting. Because we hurt and we still
No,
push. So I'm not gonna give them
about
no
them.
pass on that. But I'm
No,
saying
no, I'm
we
not
hurt.
saying give them a pass. I'm saying that that's what primarily what it is.
No, I'm
It's
saying they can't have it both ways. And this was what they want.
Mhm.
They want it
They
both
can. I
ways. They
agree.
want to lead. They don't want the responsibility. Say whom to whom much is given, much is required. They want to be given, but they do not want to fill the requirements. They only want to talk about the woman's requirements, but never address
Right.
theirs.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
that's the problem, is that they want to be given, they want to be admired, they want to be king.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the king don't just to get to put on the pretty robes and say do this. It's a lot of responsibility come with being that king. And they want the title, they don't want the responsibilities. And I don't even know if they know what the responsibilities are.
They
And
don't.
I, as a woman, can't tell them that. But it's some things you don't get to give a pat. It's some things you have to do self-reflection and self-study and go in and improve. Like somebody was saying, women
See,
reparent ourselves when we have come from generations of stuff, wrong stuff.
but we
And sometimes they have to reparent themselves, and it is not going to be. If the reparenting includes talking down to a group, that's not the reparenting.
exactly,
Okay. So
exactly.
let me read the super chat. So we got it where Doug, shout out to Doug, says to find out where do y'all be hearing these extreme talking points. Please let me know so I can investigate for myself. Thanks. Uh, Doug, come on now. Like we've heard a lot of extreme talking points on different channels. I don't feel like name dropping, but I'm just not. I
I
just
can
don't feel like. But
say one.
but no, no, hang on. Like let's not do that right now. But there are talks that are very unbalanced. And the thing about it is, I asked the question, dear internet black men of YouTube, did you turn your back on black society or vice versa? Now, again, I'm asking the question about because we hear where some say that they don't want to deal with black society. They don't want to deal with it. They say black society is gone. There's no such thing of it. Uh, well, then how did that? I got a question. So you can't say that, but then you're saying SYSBM. I mean, and the brothers that want to go their own way. Shout out to them. Respect. If you want to go your own way, I have no problem with that. If you want to save yourself, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Versus you have some brothers. One brother says, I believe there is supposed to be a balance because if there isn't a balance, a person cannot properly function. Also know their peace. I agree with that. So and one more I will read is and what's going on, Deuteronomy? It came from NT. Let me find him. And he said, the issues we as black men face are neither a result of white supremacy or feminism. The issues are rooted within oneself. The solutions must come from within. I so agree with that, Auntie. That for me, listen, I get it. There is supremacy out there. There is feminism out there. But at the end of the day, listen, I didn't always have a good home. But I had to still make my own decisions as a man. If I lay down with a woman and I start something, that wasn't white supremacy that forced me to do that. That wasn't feminism that chased me from between her legs. You gotta at some point you gotta own your decisions. But we gotta have these fair balanced conversations about everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's an open panel to come up and discuss things. Light Bearer says that hey, white supremacy is the reason why these black men are being emasculated. But you'll have it where some black men will say it's because of black women why these black men are being emasculated. So they'll say it's actually because of y'all. Then they'll also well culture they already come at you already, so ain't no need to. Um, um, and then we have it where brother speak. What's up, brother speak? What you gotta say, man?
Hey, how's the panel doing today?
Hey.
What's up?
Yeah, well, I would say that if the question is if do internet black men think that have they have they turned their back on the community black society, or is it vice versa? I would say it's both, because if you look in the past, most if I from what I was hearing in the past is that if you're a black man, you didn't have a woman, you didn't have a wife, or you didn't get all this vagina, you were worthless. There was You had no value to the community. So what happened was that a lot of these guys started to rebel against that. There were guys who was rejected by his community. What either he was being maybe he was a little awkward, socially awkward, or he liked his certain things that the community deemed not black, or maybe he taught the way that wasn't black or something like that. We have this image of black that probably was given to us by white supremacy, going to Light Bearer's point. And, guys that got tired of it, guys was getting played and nobody seemed to give a damn about them. They were going through a lot of issues with the court system, which nobody really cared. And so the guys are like, well, F it. If the community don't care about me, I'm not going to care about them. And it's not just directed at the women, it's directed at everybody. And so, because nobody really cared, man's in bad health, nobody tends to care. Is suck it up. If his woman left him, it's his fault.
I don't see that as true, because in the community, in my everyday life, we all have that uncle, that brother, that whatever, that when they come home, first of all, in the jail,
Right.
when you see the community, it's the women are caring. It
Right.
may be the wrong type of caring, but we the ones out there that's getting the attorneys for our wayward children. When that uncle come
I'm,
home and that
I'm,
uncle's sick and he homeless, he coming to his sister house to sleep. He coming to his niece house or his cousin house. That's a
I,
female to sleep.
I,
So the
I'm
women have
not.
shown that care for them. I
But
don't
you,
think they like how it is, but it may not come from. I tell my children, you may not always get a wife or a husband, but love is love. And just because it's not coming that the what they call it eros love does not mean it's not being given in the community, because these sisters, these aunties and everything, they loving on their brothers, they loving, they're allowing them to come in
um,
their homes, they feeding them and they doing it. It's not the love of a husband and a wife, but it's still love, and we are loving our community.
okay. I'm talking about the internet people. I'm not talking about in real life, because look, I've seen it in both ways too. So it's not like it's always like, oh well, it's not what these guys are saying is not true. I've seen it both ways. I've seen dudes who've been rejected by the community. They can't even they don't nobody wants to be around them. They making fun of them. And I've seen it the other way, like you said. But if these guys are that's what they feeling, it had to come from somewhere. Because you're getting so we're getting mixed stories. So which one is true? Either your way is true or their way is true. It can't be these dudes are just making this stuff up. So I keep hearing that where it's not true. They just making the stuff up. Um, you got all these different men are making that stuff up. Is if this is stuff that's in their head, or is some of it true, or none of it's true, and they just lying
So
to everybody?
I
Because
think
so
I can't.
let
I
me ask,
yes,
let me ask the question. I gotta read the question. So it says, question to the panel: why would you even waste your time listening to men without any sense? Um, if that's the case, those are lost causes to begin with. Now, we can't say. Now, I will answer that really quickly, and I will pass that around. Again, this is an open panel. Um, you can't say that. Why would you waste your time listening to those men when those men have dating coaches, life coaches? Why do you have so many coaches on YouTube right now? So right now, it seems to be there's a cry for some type of stewardship or fiduciary leadership. You know what I'm saying? No, Todd Brewley, he's cool. Like there seems like a lot of these men are coming on here and being led to learn how to do um, to get some type of leadership or re-edification. You know what I'm saying? All right, Bacon. And if you're needing to be led by some dude online, or sometimes hell, I see with the women they got classes on what the girl name what's the pink pill lady that I don't know these pink pill teachers.
Shira.
Like, so yeah, you got to where women they got their classes. I don't know why. Like to me, that blows my mind when people, for whatever reason, got to come online to learn how to date, how to get sex, how to doggone wipe their ass, or how to dress, or certain stuff, or they need certain ratings. Like, there is nobody on this fucking internet that can rate me.
B- BMT.
There's nobody that can rate me. What the fuck? Like, the hell, I could turn this shit off and go live my life. Like, ain't nobody bought me a damn vehicle. Ain't nobody bought me a plot of land. Ain't nobody paid a bill. Nobody bought me a roll of toilet paper. How the fuck do you rate somebody and you don't do shit for them? Like, the fuck?
And not
Like,
only that, they put their pants on like you do.
like I'm just saying, like, see, that right there is emasculation. That is
I
emasculation. Is when you have somebody have to lead you like a cuck around and some sugar booty, you know what I'm saying? And goddamn, they telling you who is worth a damn, who not. Ain't nobody can ever tell
You
none of you men in that in the chat or anybody. Nobody should have the power to tell you. But what we got going on is this fucked up market that is telling who is in, who's out. Fuck them. Y'all might as say count me out.
I have
Count me
seen
all the way out.
a couple of things. I don't I listen to one or two of some of those femininity coaches thing. Two things I can say. One, men hear messages and it lands different when a man tells a younger, impressionable male something than when a woman tells it. So sometimes as a single mother, I have asked men to have discussions with my son because I know they hear it differently when it comes from a male. And you do have a lot of men out here that are looking for that online that didn't get it. I worry about it, Doug, because those impressionable ears that are looking for something hears the wrong message. And
right.
I didn't watch a lot of them pink pill, but I watched one or two, and I don't know the extent of their content. But one thing I did hear them say was improve your appearance. They said the same talking for someone, but they said educate yourself, become cultured. They didn't talk about I'm not saying but they told the women about improving themselves and stuff like that. I haven't so much heard that in the spaces of the, I don't know if they call it the what sphere or whatever, but I have not heard the men saying that so much to other men. Hey, go and improve yourself. Hey, go back to school. Hey, educate yourself on this. I've been hearing women ain't this, women ain't that. They supposed to do this. They masculine. I haven't heard them saying, men, let's improve ourselves in those spaces. I actually heard one today, and it was a black women. You're in trouble. These men been hunkering. Some of these men hunkered down with you for the pandemic because they needed a place to stay. Housing wasn't available, and I'm like, and now it's finna be a new pull of men back into the public when this restrictions in because they finna come out of that stuff. I was like, that's trash men. Them trash men. So you saying a man who hunkered down with a woman was, and because they ain't had no place to go, is a quality man? That's trash. But that was the message. But I think if we heard more of the men saying, hey men, let's do this. How do we improve ourselves? How do we be better fathers? How do we do in them spaces? We wouldn't be so upset, but that's not what I've heard in those spaces and talks.
Can I
What
speak next?
Yes, yes. And after that, we also are joined here by the one of the owners of the Black Men's Congregation, MOT Man of Tomorrow. So go ahead, Libera.
On my channel, I just suggest that, you know, that you listen to your first voice. And I know that you was talking about your son. You know, the best thing we can teach our children is to listen to themselves. Here, we have a soul for a purpose, and that is our guide. And if we listen to the voice, the first voice, and what it tells us, it guides us to into who we are. And the mother is responsible for showing us. And if we look at the stars that we're born under, which is like the days of the month, basically, those things have meaning. And if we teach our children, young men especially, who they are through that, it's a big thing. Then from there, you know, they can start figuring out um, by through listening to themselves, their inner voice, their soul, and it guides them to who they are. They don't need to, because you know how we get advice from our adults all the time, but we don't listen to them. Do you know a lot of us don't really listen to them because it's coming from outside. We pretty much have to learn a lot of things on our own. But
Right.
I'm not saying necessarily going out here and learning on your own. It's just we do listen to those adults. We take a little bit of what we do hear them, but we take it and we might be like, yeah, right. But then we're actually are listening. Sometimes we just
Uh,
have to train or, you know, I always say it's important that everything starts with self first. So
okay.
we listening to these people trying to seek something outside ourselves, a coach or life coach. We have to find ourselves first before we do try to
Oh,
connect to other people. That's what,
I
no,
can
that's the way I
add
see
it
it.
like
Let
this
me
here. When
Mm.
I was in algebra class in seventh grade and they was teaching us equations, I couldn't teach myself equations. I
Mm.
had the teacher say when it go across the equal sign, you do this becomes the opposite sign. They had to give me those little tips to do it. Now I can do it by myself, but sometimes you have to have someone give that right kind of whatever to clue you in, and then you begin to grow your confidence and seek out things up outside of that and maybe even above and beyond that. But we do have parents and things, and sometimes our parents have learned the wrong things, or sometimes some don't even have that. But I don't think it's nothing with a guide to help point us in the right direction, and then from that point on we have to take responsibility and then
Yeah,
further that and further our own.
but that's not what I'm talking
hey,
about. I'm
hold on,
talking
guys.
about
Let-
I'm talking about for you to sit down, have a quiet time, and think about life. That's what I'm talking about. I'm
Okay.
not talking about learning like
You're talking
things
about meditation.
outside of self. Yeah, I'm talking about
You're talking about meditation, self
yeah,
accountability. No, I
train
agree.
people. They have to go within and think for self
Right.
and figure out life for self. And that's what I said. Learning about yourself, part of what your mother teaches you and your father both are responsible for that. And it starts with them, but then it ends up having to be something that a personal people have to do upon themselves. Not learning like things outside of yourself. You can probably learn math through that as well. It's a lot of things we can learn. It's just it's not you that's teaching you this or guiding you through this. It's your soul. And a lot of us have never taken time to realize that we have a whole bill of goods, riches within ourselves. We don't even
So
know that because we don't even we listening to all the chatter outside ourselves to really take the time to know that we're incredible people.
okay. I'm gonna pass it over to MOT. Um, Lord have mercy. The anti nigga equation. He has zero tolerance for bullshit. This question was sent to me, MOT, a while back, but it asks about their internet black men of YouTube. Did you turn your back on black society or vice versa?
Well, two things have happened.
Go ahead. You're a little bit low, brother. You're a little bit low. Like, you're a little bit low, but I can hear you a little bit more better. But you're a little bit low. Okay. The Bluetooth probably came on. Probably. Are you want me to say the question again? Okay. Like I said, I want to understand a lot of these topics that I get. People send them to me. People send them to me. I just do them. Like Koja will tell you. They come to me. Y'all request them. I do them. I don't think about it. I just tackle it one at a time. Other than that, y'all haven't seen me online for a while. So when y'all ask me these questions, I sit down, I talk about it with a few people, and um, and that's it. But we have to ask the question for a lot of the men that are coming onto YouTube because you got to ask yourself, what is the said agenda? What is the driving force? Does that make sense, everyone? Like, what is your driving force? We saw some that were aligning themselves with things that were detrimental. We have some that are down with fuckery. We are some that they say one thing, but they are so much not how they want to be. You know what I'm saying? What I tell y'all, y'all have seen me time and time again cam up and show you this is what I, as a black man, how I live my life. So that way, I don't mix my words. I literally show y'all what I am. But I believe all you have as a black man is your word. Your word is your bond. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to go out here and solicitate every goddamn woman in the goddamn street. I don't live that make believe lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? But then you'll have it where other guys they'll tell you one thing, and I ain't gonna say no name, but they'll tell you how to go get pussy, but they don't tell you when the guy gets his ass written up at work, and they'll be like, well, you should have maybe you didn't follow this through, or maybe you didn't do that. No, motherfucker, why would you tell them to go chase pussy at work? That's the wrong place to go after some ass. You never shit where you never you know what I'm saying. You never shit where you
Go
eat.
to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, where you sleep. You never do that. We'll be talking about these doggone sex stories, these make believe sex stories and shit. Or I be trying,
I was on
brother,
a panel
coach.
the
I
other
got a
day.
question. How many times have we talked about going to family court to fight for your rights for your children? How many times have we had that conversation?
Lots. Lots.
Oh, nobody wants to ever join the conversation.
When I try to give my actual working knowledge of it, it's discredited. I never say anything that is pro whatever. I say educate yourself, exercise right. This is what you have to do. It's disbelief when I say that. But I want to say I was on a panel just about 2 days ago. A young boy came in. He had been kicked out of the house when he was 12 years old. And he was saying that he's 22 now and the stuff that he had gone through. And he was just going through. So it's for the every now and then when you have, and he had been going to therapy. He had been celibate for a year. It's for the people that, and he's doing the work to try to undo some of the stuff. So it's for the young people that's out there that's impressionable that may come upon a space and end up in that wrong space, hearing that wrong thing or some stuff that's not in alignment with where he's going. And
Right.
um
That's why,
that's why
and that's
I
why
care.
the problem
That's why
coach.
I care.
That's why. So when people do ask us, well, why do y'all care? Because you have some people, they're already so fucked up and lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to say, yo, man, like, They're telling you to live in a bubble. Like telling a man that knows he has to go to court, man, fuck that system, dude, and fuck that woman. No, dude, are you trying to get him fucked up? He needs to go to the courthouse where they're going to give him the highest rating possible on that family court calculator. Take your ass down there, bro. Take your work stuff and tell them what you're working with. Nah, man, you trying to get him fucked up. Why are y'all telling him that? He needs to go down there ASAP. I'm so glad I was there to tell that young man to go there, because he was going to end up having to pay. Mind you, his checks are only $800. He was going to have to pay 480. Now he only has to pay $200. But had he had listened to some of these idiots online, they would have had him fucked up. I was like, yo, dude, you need to go down there and petition for yourself. Stop listening to people who are not professionals in this shit, bro. Go. You need to go. That's your kid too. What are you doing? Oh well, I'm sitting around. I'm waiting to hit that next lick. No, you need to go apply. You need to go apply for working at Somerville Port. You can go. I can go talk to the guy. Get you a nice $13 to $15 hour job. You can learn and go get your forklift license. Now he's getting his forklift license. Now he'll make $17 an hour. We gotta start living in reality and finding a balance, not this fictitious bullshit online, dude. Like this shit is fucking up our people, man. But everybody want to say I'm the bad guy. But I'm sorry, but I've been able to cam up my fucking works. But 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 faith without works is dead. So if you don't work, a man don't eat. If a man don't go out and hunt, a man can't talk his shit to the rest of the other hunters that are out there fighting for food. But then you want to eat off of their meat? Fuck you. Sit your ass outside the village, and we'll throw you some bones. And that's
Arab
the
Black TV, you always have a lot of comments to say from the thing. This is an open panel. I would love for you to come up here and say, but I also see your reference to ratchetness and this and that. It's a thing called constructive criticism, and it's a thing called talking out of both sides of your mouth. I said one of the reasons I come up is because what I haven't heard in the men saying to other men, but you still come back talking about ratchetness and stubborn women. Instead of saying, speak to my brothers, hey brother, let me come here and show you how to come up, how to do this, how to be responsible and this and that. You're talking to the women. And I often say, women, we should counsel each other, and men should counsel each other and then come to the table. I push back when I hear people calling us ratchet, gold diggers, and things like that. But to improve what's going on, improve the quality of the black man, and women will speak to improving the quality of the black woman. And
you
then
know what, Koja? I so fucking agree with you. Because if I have an excellent standard, MOT has an excellent standard, and Brother Speak have an excellent standard, guess what? We're looking for quality fucking women to pair bond with. And when you and so y'all heard that from a woman, you got excellent men out there, then that's the standard that the men are should be choosing for excellent women. Not let me shut the fuck up. If I turn up too damn much, y'all motherfuckers gonna start thinking that. See, this is when I had to turn my ass off. MOT, you got your mic fixed, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, much better.
All right. So, I mean, you just heard the answer. The women have to counsel the women, the men have to counsel the men. I've never even tried to help women, period, because I can't do that. I don't know what it's like to have infinite choice being handed before you and actually engage in all these choices and expect men to clean up after you after it's done. Women should be out here like we should be seeing ratchet pelts all over the place. When somebody claims that they get it, I want to know who have you hunted within your environment who's actually doing stuff wrong. I don't have a problem with calling things out, especially when it's bad and wrong. I'm just saying that at this point, we're trying to create kids to clean up after adults rather than kids being better than adults. And that's kind of the social stagnation that we're currently at right now, is the actual thing that people want to do is they want to die in peace. They don't want to reconcile the fact that they've done it wrong. We created a whole subculture out of humiliating the shit out of and disregarding men who did shit right. There's a cost for that. It's called right now. Right now, when the men decide that they're done with this shit and all these women can't get off the actual field, the women should be out here putting some shit down about how they're going to do shit family oriented and wise. The women should be out here trying to shut down OnlyFans and all this shit. So, all this lip service about community and shit, the community means that shit that was built that you don't
I
have
ain't saying
control
why
of.
women should shut it down. Women ain't paying.
Listen,
Women
I'm not
perform on
even done yet.
OnlyFans,
I'm
but we're
not
not
even done
paying
talking
for it.
yet. I'm not even done talking yet. What I'm saying is that at the end of the day, the men need to separate from this construct. How I separated from this construct, I dealt with other people that was prepared for a man like me. I didn't come with the socialization of acting like I had to fix a situation that I was not prepared by culture to actually deal with. So what I'm saying is this: we know what the things are. And these type of conversations that women have, it may seem like it's the best thing out there when it comes to the women who truly ain't doing shit, but then there's action, activity, tangibles. There's other women out there who give a shit about their community. They're not out here doing the same shit. The women have to counsel the women. The women should be out here. Shira Seven shouldn't even have a channel. There should be so many women piled up there trying to tell those women that's trying to listen to that type of stuff that you trying to destroy men out here. They should have flagged their ass off YouTube. The women should have did that. The men ain't can't do shit. So what we did is we created a subculture to clean up after failure called the cleanup man system. That every person was okay just so long as they got them a man at the end of the day and they ignore how things work. So now we're at the point to where you have people who are between the age of 60 and 20 practicing the same system on the same women who's been gaming the system in the middle the entire time. The only thing you can do is separate from this system at all. And you bring women back to the table by you leaving their ass out there for 2 generations, just like they did from 1970 to 2020. 25 years is a generation. It's time to leave them all out there from 2020 to 2070. There were different people who haven't had this level of abuse on their body and mind. That's the only way you can fix this. It's the only just way you can fix it.
So when you leave them out there, who are you going to procreate with?
Someone else who's actually been prepared to receive what I have to offer. I'm not caught up in skin color.
You just wrote them off.
Listen. When you're trying to talk about skin color, you are bringing yourself back into the fold on a level to which you haven't even invested in. I don't care about skin color. I care about mind states, actions.
I didn't say nothing about skin color. I said who you're going to procreate with, and I said you just written them off. I made no mention of skin color.
This is not a speciation
skin
argument.
color is important.
Other people. See why I brought up skin color? Because she just said it's important.
Yeah,
I know it's said in the undertone of what
you brought that up, though. I get the deflection. What you finna do?
And
I
she
just want to
told
say
you exactly
that I didn't say skin color. She didn't say skin color. She just said it just now. But you just brought skin color up into a combo that had skin color wasn't in it.
Okay.
So let this man finish.
Like I said, you have to go to people who've done the work on their women to prepare them for decent men. That's not going to happen within this system. Not going to happen. What you have to do is get the women out there to stop talking to us with lip service and go out there and do the battle on their side of the aisle, period. There's so much wrong with the women in society, they shouldn't even be allowed to even talk to men on their side unless they have a significant track record outside of lip service and fixing things. Yes, you have a lot of men who want to help you maintain this system. I'm not trying to maintain the system. I built a better system for myself where I rule unopposed and things are very nice and they work nicely. You cannot do this stuff with these people here. The system that they grew up in, they're going to try to maintain it. And it has been maintained by weak ass men who's vaginally obsessed that these so-called good women are not even out there fighting the actual problems on their side. They're over here giving us lip service while their homegirls on their side are actually ruining and destroying things, creating non-viable kids through their non-viable choice mechanism. We keep acting like this is something that you could just ignore with like game and access to pussy. Access to sex is what got these guys in this thing in the first place, being once neglected of actual human-based actual behavior, and then given a actual false standard by the actual men who are not even engaging in the women to actually find a way to get rid of their track record of neglect. Most of these women and men who are gaming this actual system, which is the majority of them, they know what's happening here. So I'm just going to say this. The best men need to choose the best women. Until...
What is the best woman to you? What would that best woman be? Because you just wrote off a whole generation. You said leave them out for 20 years. So you said leave them out. Hold on. Let me say 2 generations, 40 years is what you said. So what is, since you've written them off, where are you getting this best group of women from? Who are they? What do they look like? Do they include black women? Do they include black women?
No,
or are you saying
not
it's
right
open
now.
to?
Not right now.
So you're saying write black women off for 2 generations to pay us back for some imaginary or some slight you say we did in the past. So
Maybe
your
it's
stance is,
imaginary.
I just want to clarify this. Your stance is write black women off for 2 generations because we have whatever done in the past, and so black men should not date black women for 2 generations to 2040. So black women, I just want, his thing is you're not concerned with black women. Why are you here?
Not at all.
You need to go. Why you here?
Not
So
at all.
your goal
Let me
of
tell you
coming
why.
here
Let me tell
is
you
to
why.
be a sounding board for black men to not date black women. So you trying to recruit black men. So why you? Oh, this ain't your sector. This ain't your sector. This ain't your sector. You here to recruit black men away from black men. So you not for the betterment of the black community. See, if you talk long enough, the devil will make a liar at you. But I just wanted black women to see this sleight of hand when he did.
Let me know when I get to talk.
I think you were. You see the sleight of hand. I thought I heard it, but I'm glad he talked long enough to show you what he about.
Okay, culture.
Okay, so she said her piece. My piece is Miss Lady here should be spending all of her time on Shira Seven's channel. She should be spending all her time on
I'm not to spend my time on Shira Seven's channel.
I know. This
I'm
is
with my black man and trying to be trying to be. So I don't have to. I said Shira 7 had 2 good talking points, which was improve yourself and improve your education, and she said improve your appearance. When I say education, it's not all in the school. It's talking about it being diverse in a variety of different subjects. I said she had 2 good points. I didn't say all of her talking points were good or bad. If we look hard enough, we could find a good talking point. Hell, we could say Hitler was a good leader and organizer.
Well,
you may not agree with for what he wanted to accomplish.
You had 2 generations to prove your point.
About
now,
so I did not say that. So I don't want my words to be misconstrued. So I'm going to clarify what I said about Shira 7. But I'm building with my black man, so I don't have to go over there and build with nothing with what Shira 7 said. But I did take.
I didn't even know you brought up the point before. I know when I came onto the show.
That's one thing that I saw you say about what black women understand.
So what I'm saying is right now is that you're not going to sound all this reasonable.
You see what he's trying to direct black men to do what he does.
Joe, moderate your panel, man. I need to give you.
I don't want to have to mute you, and I'm going to have to mute you. Like, we can talk. Okay.
This is what I'm saying. You've had a good run. You're not going to sit here and tell me all this stuff that you're actually doing here. The actual war is out there, not here on the panel. So what I'm saying is this. You leave them all behind. You leave them out the door. So when I ask you for your ratchet pelt count of all these problems that are happening in society, that's what it is. Black men ain't going to get their stuff together and try to bring damaged women along. I don't care how reasonable you look right now. At the end of the day, we need to be dealing with women who are already prepared. And until you meet that new standard, I don't want to hear any of this stuff. At the
We
end of
don't
the
want
day,
to meet no
we
white
no.
supremacist
I'm just telling
Georgia,
you. I'm
educated
just telling you.
right
standard.
there.
I'm sorry.
I'm just telling you how men work. Men work with things that make sense. You know who make deals? Weak
That
ass
doesn't make a
men
bill
make
of
deals.
sense.
Pro blacks make deals. I'm not making no deals with people who haven't prepared themselves for what I have to offer. Listen, you've been out here like everybody else been out here. You're here being the most reasonable version of the worst people that we have to deal with. That means
I'm
nothing to
so
me.
glad you divested. Why can't
Yeah,
I wish
yeah.
you divest off the
I'm
panel and
just
stay over
telling.
there.
I'm
Lord have
just
mercy.
telling you
Don't
right
you
now.
know that
I'm
what
just telling you right
destroyed
now. This
you,
is how
it
this is going to go from this
emasculated you
point
as a
forward.
white
I
man,
don't.
and you want to
Wow.
run to the
Okay.
Emasculated.
white
No, no,
people?
no, no. There are what you said that has no effect on me. Also, the weak ass men in the chat, like Super Mike, who actually won't bring his ass up here, who they say I need to be cursed off the panel. This is exactly what you need to hear. The moment you try to sound reasonable, look at the results and look at your track record. You have to keep your own people in mind. Me,
Look at
I
the
don't care
world
weak ass
around you,
secular
man of
self do.
Why
tomorrow.
are you
And that's what
here?
I'm
Why
saying.
are you
That's what I'm
here?
saying. I
You
am
heard that
telling you
for the
something
black
that is
community.
not being
Why are
told to
you
you.
here, MOT?
Yes, I
Well,
am
man,
here.
Did
I
it.
am here to tell you exactly what you need to hear.
chill out.
So that way you have a new mission. The new mission is
Bye.
not telling us how reasonable you are.
Bye,
The
man
new
of
mission is
tomorrow.
taking
Go
your
to the
ass out
white
there
Go to the
and
society.
taking the fight
divestment
of the
community
actual women
page.
who
Go
are
to the
actually the problem.
divestment
You're
page.
not
I'm
gonna
sure
sit
they
here
want to hear
and
you.
keep
Stop
trying to be
trying to
reasonable in
recruit.
front of us.
Stop trying to recruit.
Oh my
Stop trying to recruit.
God.
Don't nobody
Oh,
care.
who is falling for this? I
Divest.
didn't date these people. Listen,
Listen.
there are
Okay.
more reasonable people out here that you
Bye.
can deal with that's not here. That's what I'm saying. That emasculation shit don't work on me. I'm not controlled by the opinion of a woman. That's how come I can talk my goddamn truth because I'm actually living this shit. So now
Man, talking
you have your
don't cost
new,
nothing.
you have
Talking
your
don't
new
cost
mission.
nothing but
Go out there and
internet
counsel
service.
the
So you
actual women.
everybody can
Go
afford to
out
talk.
there and
Even
counsel
when
the
you can't
actual women
afford to
and watch
talk, you
them
can get an
chop your
Obama
head off.
phone to talk. Talking
Those
don't cost
women,
nothing.
are
Talking
not
costs
going to.
nothing.
Yeah,
No. Okay.
Bye.
Let me
those
ask you
women are
something.
not going to allow you to come
Bye,
out there
Felicia.
and take their power away from them.
So
Go
let me.
rule your
You out here
kingdom.
trying to
Go
sound
rule your
reasonable,
kingdom
sound like
where
you
you
care
is
about
the
the
ruler.
community. You
So
don't
let
care
me.
Ain't
about none
nobody
of that
want to
stuff.
hear that.
Okay,
Back to
okay.
the
So
The
let
gypsies.
me ask.
real
Let me ask you a
magic
question.
comes
The
out.
land of
There's
the
no difference
gypsies.
between
Bye.
you and all these other women.
So let me ask.
There's no
Let me ask you a question. Why the question is, why is it that the black community is begging for leadership? Why? Let's ask the first question. Why is it that they're begging for leadership? That's the first question. Because, and thank somebody for sending me that on Facebook. Why is the black community begging for leadership? Like, what
Yeah,
is that
because
about?
they didn't choose it.
What?
We got the
Can I
outcome
can I
based on
try
what
that
they
first?
chose.
Okay, go, hang on, brother. Speak. Go ahead. Why is the black community begging for leadership?
Well, I see it as from what I've seen on different panels with certain males and females, they looking for somebody to clean up their mess, like MOT is saying. And I had one in particular. She said, "Well, your people are fucked up. Why ain't you helping them?" I'm like, "Well, I got my own problems to deal with. Why am I supposed to be helping people who don't want to help themselves?" And usually when they talk, that community talk is, "Hey, we want you to give up your stuff, give up everything that you have built to help a bunch of people who don't want to do the work." And what you get out of it, oh, you get a pat on the head and maybe some adulation, if that. So that's why I hear with a lot of talking points, especially these males and females on YouTube, is either they want to get something out of somebody, but they don't want to do the work. And then on top of that, they will tell you, well, what are you doing for the community? But yet, if you look on their YouTube channel, you don't see nothing about them doing anything for the community. They're talking about the same stuff that we're talking about: relationships, how these black women ain't shit, how these black dudes ain't shit. But yet, if you try to call out everybody, they want to get mad at you. If you call out some of these black leaders who haven't done anything for the community, been in Congress for forever, and yet black people are in the same state that they're in now that were back then, Then they want to get mad at you, saying that you're condemning people, you're condemning black people. And that's where I'd be like, well, then fuck it then. Who cares?
So
Because if
let me get it passed on. I got more people coming on the panel.
yeah,
I got
sorry.
I got I got Brandy. Super Mike did come up as MOT address. Um,
Oh, this should be good.
so
Yeah.
no,
I
we
want
can.
him to defend his queens. I'm just going to sit here and just watch him simp out and not even get the masculine portion of the conversation. I want to hear this. Yeah, I really want to hear this. With these outcomes we got, Super Mike, you got a whole lot of shit to answer. So
Get
bring
on
it
camera.
here and just
Get on
answer for
camera.
what's happening.
Super Mike,
Get on camera.
Super Mike, I got to do a show. Control yourself. Let's just do the show.
Hey man, okay, listen. I'm not going to because this dude is. Everybody knows he's pathetic. So it's nothing that I need to say. But the point is, I just want us to understand that pro black is way better than whatever this dude talking about. He's talking about eliminating the women. That's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Weak men
So
too, like yourself.
we don't even have to think about somebody as pathetic as him, as cowardly as him, who will not get on camera, who
Mhm.
continues to get kicked off of panels because even the men,
No, sir. I choose to leave, by the way.
well,
I
yeah,
choose to
because
leave.
yeah,
I
even the
choose to
men,
leave because I don't talk with weak
even
men.
the
I
men. See,
don't.
listen how weak you are interrupting me, but that's fine. Keep going. The point is
Because you're
this.
lying about the track record. That's
Listen
why
how
I'm
pathetic
interrupting
you
you.
are. Listen how pathetic you are. You can't even
Oh, I
control
feel so much
yourself.
shame, sir.
But you
I feel
can't
so much
control
shame.
yourself.
Make me want
It's my
to
turn.
save one of
Yeah,
these women on the panel.
it's my turn to talk, and you can't control yourself. I understand that,
All right,
and
go
you're
ahead, sir.
scared to get on camera. So listen.
Which has nothing to do with my
The
talking points,
point
by the
is,
way.
the point is, we have to keep developing our community. It's almost like if you have your house and you ain't cleaning your house, you can't just go to other people's community and try to simp off the benefits that they have worked hard for, and you're not doing the things that you need to do in your own community to develop the people that you have. If you have a problems in your community, you figure out solutions for those problems and you develop the people. That's how we do. That's how every other culture has done it, and that's what we got to do. We can't listen to people like, but it's good to see a person like MOT, a pathetic person, because you can see how insane the mindset is of just pure divestment. Because he's really believing the stuff that he's talking, and we see how pathetic he is. I mean, I guess he drives a truck, and he don't have any kids, no women. He's gonna die broke alone. I mean,
Oh
because
man. Oh,
this is
ooh.
the type of person
Sounds
this
so
guy
bad.
Riding
is.
with people in truck
He's
stops,
he's
white people.
he's
Sounds so bad.
lot
Ooh.
lizards, all that kind
Shaming
of crap.
language. Just
But that's the
go
type of
ahead.
person this man is.
Probably
No, 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 no.
non-color meth head ones.
Here's the thing, man.
Yeah,
I'm not doing any of those things that you're
this
talking
is the
about.
type of
Actually, on
person
a large
he
ass
is.
fleet of trucks, sir.
A
I don't have to
pathetic
drive anymore.
politician. He's a pathetic politician.
Oh
Shill.
God.
He's all about politics, and that's his whole life because he has no
Who am I
other life.
shilling for? Who am I
He
shilling
has
for?
no other life,
Who
and
am I
that's all
shilling
this
for?
guy is. Now, all you have to do is pay attention to what he says and how he says
Yes.
it. You'll see
Leaving
other
weak
things he
men
says,
and pathetic
and
women out of it.
you will agree that this type of person is just something that we should just avoid being. That's all.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Well, okay, thank you for coming on and laying down your cover and fire and smoke. And this is what I'm saying. If you're not
Show
under the
yourself,
age,
boy.
if you're
Show
not the
yourself,
age,
man.
if you're not under the age of 25, I don't want to hear shit out of your mouth as a fucking woman. Period. You need to be out here cutting heads off of motherfuckers who are having all these kids with these whack ass fucking dudes. If you ain't doing that, this shit is lip service to cover for the shit that's already happened. I love coming up here doing this shit because I know you ain't out there doing the fucking work. Look at the results. And all these decisions that we currently have right now have been made 5 to 15 years ago. Yes. So if you were to get out there to actually get on the real shit, which is doing the real work, we wouldn't be talking about communities and shit. Communities and shit that's been built by
You not in the
generations.
community, so why you care? You not here. You not planning on living with us. You're not being with black women. You're not having black children. So why is it your business? See, that's what they say. You want to be in the. You want to bask in
Just because
blackness.
you are
So
a
you
gay
bringing
motherfucking
your
family
ass
to the
to these
community don't
black
mean shit.
spaces, but
Okay.
go
Don't mean
over there,
shit.
like they say, eat your
Oh,
string bean, your green
my
bean
God.
Let me get
casserole
over
with
to
fried
Oh,
onions.
God.
Stop coming
Yeah.
over here and try.
Nope.
I love you,
Nope.
Koga. Calm down. How you doing, Brandy? What's going on, Brandy?
So,
Hey, BMT, how
so
you doing?
this is all I'm
And
saying.
hello to
BMT.
everybody
Hang
on
on,
the
Let,
panel.
let me get it over to Brandy. What's
all right.
going on, Brandy? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, you know what? I just want to say this to this gentleman, MOT. I mean, there's nothing wrong with you being divested. I think
It's not about
pe-
being divested.
people
It's
should
about
be
dealing
with
with
who
better
they
people.
want to be, do what you do. But see, the problem is, I don't know you, but I hear a lot of hatred coming from you. To say that a group of people, black women, should just be sent off somewhere, that's
No, I'm
like,
talking about the ones who can't make proper decisions. If you're on the market, if you're trying to save the failure that has happened so far, that's what I'm talking to, which is damn near all of you. I don't see young women online having these
He can't
conversations.
just
well,
let
that's,
I
somebody
I
talk.
only
mean, that's
have,
not the
I
black
He's
women
only
so
that
he's
I
have
so
know.
weak.
women who are like
Yeah,
28 plus
Let her
having this
talk.
conversation.
Let her talk.
And
Let
what you
her
do is you
talk.
have big ass niggas like Super Mike
Shut
come
your
up here and
mouth
try to
and let
tell
her
people.
talk. Let her
thank
talk.
you, because
Come
I'm
on.
not gonna be up here
Okay.
long. I just,
Here's the thing.
it's just
You go back to your
disheartening.
Super Mikes, and that guy's going to help you rebuild your community.
Okay, first of all, um, I'm not speaking about. I'm talking about you as a black man. Okay,
Okay.
we all
Has no
know
power over
we.
me. I'm not controlled by the opinion
Are
of a
you
woman.
really gonna let me talk? Because I really,
Fuck no. If
that's
you
a
just
sign
gonna
of
try to
not.
do
That's
this
a sign
family
of
language shit, I'm
immaturity
not gonna let you
to
fucking
not
talk
let
over
a
me like
person
that.
speak,
Why would I
and
do
you
that?
keep over talking me.
Mute his
Okay,
mic. Mute his mic.
MOT,
Mute
Okay,
his
well,
mic.
my
let
opinion
bring us
is
in,
I
bro.
don't give a
Come on.
shit about what you're saying if you're 30 plus. The only thing you're trying to do
MOT,
is trying to protect the people on the panel and their fake ass opinion about what the community
Mute
is. The
his
community
mic.
don't
Mute his
include
mic.
I don't
Stop
you.
know what
being
happened.
disrespectful and let her speak. Mute
I'll
MOT,
come
his
back if
mic.
you all
I
can
gotta
hear me
meet you,
because I
bro.
can't hear
Come on now.
anybody. I'll come back.
Let,
I'll come
Okay.
back,
Okay.
BMT.
Well, why don't you be respectful towards me? Right. So, anytime you walk in with this shame language shit, I'm just gonna walk in here and just kick the shit over again. So you need to make your opinion, be respectful, and
Brandy.
I'm just gonna be out. That's all it is, man.
All right, we got Renaissance Man. What's going on, Renaissance Man?
Hey, what's up, BMT? What's up, panel?
Not too much. Not too much. I
Yeah,
only
yeah.
got a few minutes left. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I've been listening in. I think people are sort of distorting MOT's position a little bit. Because I think if everyone's talking about having a community at some point, you kind of have to look at a community as kind of the same way you look at a sports team. You know, when you're putting together a championship team that's going to go win or do something, the first thing you do is you have tryouts. And when you have tryouts, not everyone makes it. I think what he's getting at is the fact that, hey, people who want to be productive and want to move forward, you can't sit around with people who don't have that same mentality. And sometimes that means you are going to have to leave your environment and leave certain people behind if you want the group to progress forward. And there seems to be a divide between people who think that you can't do that. Essentially, that we have to accept everyone with what pretty much accept them as they come. When you look at other communities, there are standards that people have to live up to, and if they can't live up to them, they distance themselves from those people as well.
You said there's standards in other communities?
Wow.
Wow.
You don't think there are standards in other communities?
Give me some examples.
No. You need to answer the question like Renaissance. Don't answer
I
the
need
question with a question.
examples.
She has to
I need
explain something.
I need
No.
examples why
You
y'all
you
want to
you
go
you
to
don't
other
understand that people need
communities that is
standards in the
known.
community, and now you're asking
What
for
do y'all
standards.
know about
The
other
only thing
communities?
you're doing is moving the goalposts because you don't understand what the standards clearly are. This is what I'm saying. These so-called decent women that we're talking to online are not all that decent. They're decent as in comparison to the
She
best that
asked
we have
for
to
an
deal with.
example because she didn't understand what the person meant. That's reasonable.
No, it's
That
not. But go
Uh,
ahead. Go ahead. Go
everybody,
ahead.
everybody can listen. I want everybody's final thoughts, but I got to go into my appointment. I really need these paperwork because we just had somebody die in my area, so I got to go get paperwork
let me
moved.
let me make a final thought
Yep, make a
and
final
leave.
thought.
But people like MOT has been saying we got to leave people behind. But he keeps coming on the panels saying we got to leave people behind. Why don't you just leave? That's what I
Okay,
don't
so
understand. Just
okay, sir.
leave
So
the
I'm gonna
people
open up
behind.
a panel
Leave
so
the
that way you can
people. Leave the people
bring
behind
yourself on.
that
You
you
can bring
don't
yourself on
like.
so we can talk about it.
Leave the people
We can talk
behind
about
that you don't
man to
like,
man. We can talk
and
about man to man. Super Mike too. Come over to
leave
my
the people
channel. I will
behind.
drop the
I'm not
link and
coming
we'll
up
talk
to your
about
little lane, whatever you got going on, man.
it.
Super
Yeah,
Mike, Super
sure.
Mike, are you finished?
I'm
I got
leaving you behind. Go ahead. I'm gone.
everybody.
No, no, no,
Everybody,
no.
mute up.
I'm gonna drop a
So
link to Super Mike. You know what? I'm about to go
okay,
live right now, Joe.
okay.
What I'm gonna
That's
do so
fine.
that way we can have a discussion. On my channel, we discuss solutions to problems. We don't bring problems to potential solutions. It's
Okay.
really not hard about what I'm actually talking about. But when you got people hell bent on including themselves into the solution of something when they're not actually out there effectively fighting for the actual change, but they want to be the benefit of it, this is why I come to these conversations to let people know, no, no, no. Reasonable and decent is not as reasonable and decent as different people culture better. That's all I'm saying. And that's been continuously my point. A person who needs to be explained what standards are is not a person that we can't even have a conversation with. So it's just that that's just the way it is. So
So
not a
what?
big deal.
So what's the standards? Tell me.
I'll
No,
give you
no,
an
no,
ex-
no, no. So,
Final thoughts.
Examples.
Got to go.
I'll give you my final thought. When I
One
was saying
example.
things like when I was saying things like standards, for example, when you look at other communities, women are taught and understand that hey, when a man's starting out, he's building, you need to support him. He's not going to be financially well off immediately. That's going to take time, and you need to cooperate and work with him. That is not, when you listen to a lot of black men, they will tell you that hey, when I'm working to go to school, do this, build that, people sort of have that mentality of they should show up and be there immediately. And then when it's not there, it's a problem. And then when the work is done, you have people showing up not being there and wanting to be a part of it then.
Okay, thank you so much. And yes, MOT used to be over here and did go over a lot of stuff. So I tell y'all, BMT is this is a very old channel. So I know a lot of people didn't know that we used to be over here. Just went to go do his own thing. And I let Kojo talk. I want to make sure everybody gets to talk before I go. Everybody mute up. MOT, you start up your channel for
yeah,
this
I'm setting
conversation.
my channel right now so we can talk about realistic solutions so that way you don't be like men won't be BS by these conversations and weak, ineffectual men who actually want to protect the status quo. We need to talk about that. So.
Okay. Go ahead, Brandy. Go ahead, Brandy. Everybody's on mute. Go ahead there.
Okay, I just want to say that solutions are great, but getting rid of a whole group of people, of black women, that's not a solution. Okay, so I don't know where that's a solution, and where this gentleman gets that from. So yes, there's work to be done, but what he's talking about, I don't understand it. I don't get it, and it just sounds like hatred to me, or hurt, or something. There's some kind of issue going on. But I enjoyed the show, BMT. It was a good panel. So you guys have a good day.
And I just want to say
Thank you.
this right quick. I've been married for 24 years, so I must have some standards. I must have in my community. So I don't know. You can't really just point fingers at everybody because we're all different within our community as well. It's a whole facet of different minds and different people. You can't just categorize and say that the white group people are better than our group. We have a lot of potential and a lot of greatness within the Black community.
Is there anybody else? All right.
Yeah,
Brother Pete, go ahead, bro.
yeah. I just like to say again when people talk about, in particularly the I guess Kojo Malik was talking about like the black manosphere. The thing is that yeah, there are men over there on the black manosphere side who do talk about men improving themselves, the men going to the courts. But the problem is that the black community has been always focused on women, whether it's vagina or marriage or whatever. It's always to the benefit of the women instead of just being a black man being beneficial to himself and building himself up and then choosing that type of woman. We've been taught to do it backwards. The thing is, a lot of women were taught to be independent of men, but the men were not taught to be independent of women. And this is not just black society, it's society in general. And that's why a lot of dudes are now rebelling against that because they've seen that that didn't work for them. They've seen that certain dudes get a benefit of women, and then when those dudes burn those women, then they come into them, the ones that didn't get that help or anything, to try to fix the problems of the community. But he's like, the community didn't try to help me. They helped that guy, but they didn't help me. So why should I do all that? So this is what you have going on, and this is the battle you're going to be having right now. That you got a lot of guys who feel like the community didn't care for them, so they just like, F this community, I'm gonna do me. And I do encourage that to a degree, that you should be, as a man, improving yourself, getting your stuff together. You can't worry about a community if you ain't got your stuff together. It's just, there's no way. And nobody should be trying to force you into doing something like that and not taking in account what that man particularly wants. And I think that's a lot of that going on, is that we want this community to be better, and then there's some people who want to take advantage of that and don't do nothing and just depend on this particular man who may not know what he wants to do in life, and use him to fix stuff that he didn't never cause. So I think that's what's going on right now.
I agree, brother. Speak that that's
Hang on,
what
you
I try.
guys, I do apologize. I have to go.
I know.
I really have. I have this appointment. We just had a death, and I have to go. I gotta go assess this death. So,
Okay.
other than that, you guys,
Peace
I
and love,
do thank
everybody.
y'all. I know y'all confused by wait, MOT was over here. Listen, my channel's old, and like Doug just told y'all, MOT used to be on
Mhm.
our channel before he started his channel. He just
Yeah.
started his channel, but I do have a lot of people from all over, from the Pink Pill to Manosphere to SYSBM to the divestment. A lot of brother speak will tell you. Uh, everybody has come through my channel, and they still do. Like they watch my channel in the clouds. And when they want to come through, they'll come through. You know
Okay.
what
Yep.
I'm saying? So I'm very respectful
Mm.
to allow people to come through. I just don't tolerate pedophiles. But shit, even sometimes they sneak in to get on the panel to talk. But I try to be respectful. No, no, it's okay, Queen of South, but I gotta handle this death. You know what I'm saying? So other than you guys, I love y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Peace.